Okay, so we're back. I don't know, I'm hoping that you're all going to see that this has changed now and that I've created a new link. I hope you're going to be able to come to it. And I am just going to wait to see if anyone is going to join. So I'm just going to wait for 2 minutes just to see anyone joining. I can see already people are starting to come through. I'm just going to wait a little bit before we start again, talking about rebooting. Right, okay, I'm going to start now anyway, and then if anyone cannot find us, then you can always play it again later. I really apologize for this. I am really not sure what happened. It's been quite chaos here. I had the phone that rang at the same time. There was a delivery man at the door, and then all of a sudden the whole system crashed. So, but we're here to do a rebooting session. So we're going to do this now, and I will change all my links on social media as soon as I can. Also, okay. So we did an introduction where we focused on an intent for the Reiki healing and we thought of a gratitude. Then we did our normal breathing exercise that we normally start with. And so now we are moving to some thinking. We're going to think through just for a moment about what it is that, like 2020 is a year that has really destabilized us and it has created stress and it has created really weird situations and things that we so were not used to at all. So I am inviting you to take this time now to think about how you used to be before 2020, what used to make sense to you, and what it is that you have lost touch with in 2020 that you'd like to get back to now. It can be habits of life, it can be attitudes, it can be feelings, it can be activities, it can be people, anything like this. So I'm going to invite you now to close your eyes, to take a deep breath, and to think about these things. Just for a moment, just think about what it is that made sense to you before and that stopped making sense to you, and that now, because you're not doing these things anymore, it's like you've lost some of the sense of your life because of not doing these things, if that makes sense. And when you have started to identify some of these things, you can start to think about how you can reintroduce these things you've lost and that you are missing currently. It can be that you may need to reintroduce them in a different variation of them due to our current situation. But think about what it is you can reintroduce and how. Remember that we are rebooting ourselves, resetting ourselves. So we are clearing out the negative aspects of 2020 and we are bringing ourselves back to our roots. We are bringing ourselves back to ourselves. So you can take this moment to think about what it is that you used to do before that you would like to reintroduce into your life. What it is that used to make sense to you before. And in the near future, what things would make sense to you that you may not be able to do in the same manner? but then trying to find a way that it can make sense to you to still do it, even in a different way, if that makes sense. Okay, now we are going to move on to the next meditation. So, you can keep your eyes shut if they are shut, or you can shut them now if they were open. And then taking a deep breath in and out to transition. And I'm going to invite you now to imagine yourself where you are right now. And then imagine yourself getting up from where you are and walking out the door. But outside the door, the landscape is going to be very different from where you are now. As you step out your door, you will find a path in nature with fields on both sides. It is dawn. Very early in the morning, the sun has not risen yet completely. So it is bright enough that you can see where you are going, but it's not so bright that you can call it daytime yet. And you start walking on that path. It feels fresh because it is still very early in the morning. Dew is on every little strand of grass, on every bush, on every leaf. You may find that there are trees at the side of you as you're walking. Some kind of an early morning mist rising above the grass everywhere. And the soft light of the sun almost piercing through to glow on that mist. And as you are walking on that path, you can notice how everything is ever so quiet. Not a single noise is present. Not a sound is there to disturb your peace. You could almost hear the drops of the dew falling onto the ground from every strand of grass. It is so peaceful, so quiet, so still. There is no movement, just you walking through. Nobody is awake yet. There is a sense of freshness about this, a feeling of hope to know it is the start of a brand new day and that this day can be anything you want it to be. It feels so fresh and so comfortable at the same time, knowing that you can see now, little by little, the sun is rising higher and higher into the sky, glowing its amazing light on every bit of dew, every drop of water, everywhere around you, and that the grass is now starting to glisten as if it was made of diamonds. And the mist, slowly by slowly, is lifting in such stillness, such quietness. And you can start to hear a bird flying through, maybe landing not far from you. And you know that the day is now really starting. Animals, people, the world is starting to wake up. As the sun is rising, you can feel energy rising in you, getting yourself ready for the day, for this was wonderful day, this most amazing day, where you can do anything and can be anything you want to be. It feels fresh, it feels calm, it feels still, it feels hopeful, it feels energized, it feels strong. And so, as you are seeing now that the sun is almost all the way at the top, nice, bright, and warm, that the mist has disappeared, dissipated, ever so softly and gently, and the dew is drying, you can now make your way back to your room. Walking back to your door, stepping through your door, shutting it, and going back to your space and sitting down again or lying down again. Now you can go back to that walk anytime you want. And in the meantime, we're going to move on to the next meditation. First, if you would like, you could open your eyes again, taking a deep breath to begin if you would like to have a sip of water. And otherwise, you can just relax and wait for 1 minute before we start the next session, the next activity rather. Okay, so now we're going to do a focus on the space between thoughts. So we cleared out some of our fears. We gave some thought about what it is that we need and want and how to, or what it is that we want to claim back that we may have lost through 2020, so that we can do a reboot, a reset. We are restarting ourselves with a session so that we can continue in a healthier and happier manner, where we can then look back to 2020 and think, 2020, okay. Instead of 2020, no, horrible. That's a lot of negative energy to bring onto one single year. Yeah. So it's about bringing positivity back to the year by finding ourselves back, to connecting to ourselves. And by focusing on the space between thoughts, what happens is that we clear our mind. And the less obstructive thoughts we have in our minds, the more we are ourselves. So the more we can reboot or reset to our original uh, makeup, if that makes sense. Um, because we have reduced the amount of uh, disturbing thoughts in the mind that are taking us away from that state. So if you would like to take a deep breath to begin, and then closing your eyes if they are open, making sure that you are comfortable. And at this time, what we want to do is we want to try to switch off every thought, every single thought. Of course, this is actually not possible. And if I'm asking you to focus on the space between thoughts, then that is one thought in itself. So you can never be without a thought. But what you can do is you can understand the concept, see what that means to you, and then reduce dramatically the amount of thoughts in your mind so that your system can catch a break, rebooting. So I am asking you to bring your mind into focus on that space. Like imagine that your thoughts are like a train and that each thought is a carriage. In between the carriages, there's a space. And that's focusing on that particular space right there. So it is about when having a thought, acknowledging that there was a thought there, and then inviting it to leave your system, and not giving any time for another one to come through, and just staying there in that space between the thoughts. People can use so many different analogies to connect with that space. Um, there's so many concepts that can fit into this. What I like to do is I like to see the cosmos between my thoughts because we are the universe and we are in the universe. So I am going to go quiet now for some time, just so to let you focus on no thought, including my voice. Okay, so think about the space between the thoughts, because between that quietness that there is between the thoughts, where the universe can be. When you notice that you get carried away with another thought, don't worry. Just bring your mind back to that space between thoughts. Focusing your mind on the space between the thoughts. That space, there is no noise in your mind, where it is all quiet, where the universe can be. When you are ready, you can take a deep breath to finish. Bring your mind back to the room and opening your eyes again. Hi, Pallavi. I'm so glad you found the session. I'm really sorry for all of you. The disconnection that there was with the first video. I will try to link them up in the best way that I can so that it's a rather smooth progression from one to the other. Fortunately, we were at the end, I believe, of the breathing session, breathing activity when this happened, the disconnection. So hopefully too disturbing or disruptive. But anyway, we are now going to move on to the Hakini mudra. And so that mudra is about finding balance. It is restoring balance to all the elements in our system. Now, we've been talking about the elements in the past sessions. And at the tip of each finger, there is a connection to an element, which, I don't know if I can remember which ones they are. I think that the little finger, but you have to double check before you do anything about this because I cannot guarantee that I'm remembering it right. But I think it is water, the little finger, earth, the ring finger, the cosmos, the middle finger, the air, index finger, and fire, the thumb. But not everybody is actually indicating the same elements for each finger, so it can be confusing. I can do some research about this if you would like me to. But for the purpose of this mudra, there's no problem with this because we are actually going to stimulate all of them so that we can balance them nicely. And so what that creates is balance inside of us. It clears the mind, it anchors and makes us feel grounded. But it's also it's a mudra that people say that if you go to watch YouTube videos about it, they'll tell you that it's about a good mudra to do before you do studying, for example, or if you've got exams. So basically, it is about putting all your fingers together like this, touching each other. As you can see, my fingers at the tip, and you don't want to press them too hard that you can see my white marks on my fingers. You don't want to do that. See, now it's restored to the more normal color. What you want is you want them to be together in an active manner, in an engaged way, but you don't want to push them too hard. Okay? And what you want is inside in the middle, it feels like you have a ball of energy that you're holding inside your hands, but instead of being like round like this, you are actually holding the tip of your fingers like that. And then you can rest this on your belly like this. So it's like, I don't know if you can see very well, but that will show better. My fingers are actually pointing away from the body. But still the palms are kind of curved like this, as if I was holding a ball of energy, okay? And actually you can already see my fingertips are so red. That's because energy is circulating. That is a sign. Okay. So now applying the mudra, do this a bit better for people to see. That's better. And then taking a deep breath in and out and closing your eyes. I'm inviting you now to just relax like this. To just rest. Let the energy flow. in your mind to focus on what it is that it feels like to hold your hands in this way. For example, I am feeling right now some buzzing going on between my fingers and some pulsing of energy through my hands and into my arms. Noticing also how your mind feels, because these are very powerful energy work that can help dramatically shift the mind. That's it, just relaxing like this. Once in a while, just checking with your mind that your hands are actively holding the mudra still. And relaxing through it. Each fingertip is touching each fingertip, from the left hand to the right hand, and then resting on your belly. And just relaxing in that way. Okay, you can now take a deep breath to finish. Relaxing your hands for a minute, but keeping your eyes closed, because we are going to go straight into the love meditation now. And so when you're ready, you can start rubbing your hands energetically together. And then applying them to your heart. Right in the middle of your chest, on your heart chakra. And you can let go of your thinking. Let go of your focus. Any thought can now come in and out. It doesn't matter. You can just relax. You have done an incredible job with this session. It wasn't easy, especially with the first part of the session getting interrupted. So you can just relax right now. And if at any time you feel you are losing the sensation, you can rub your hands again and then applying them in the middle of your chest again onto your heart chakra. And knowing you are filling yourself up with unconditional love, you're nourishing your heart chakra, which is the chakra of passion, which is the chakra of what it is that you are built to do, and the chakra of love, the chakra of self love. It is the gate also between the lower chakras that are more down to earth, practical sides of life, and the upper chakras that are more spiritual. Just relaxing them, letting any thought come through in and out. And then taking a deep breath to finish, bringing your hands back down, relaxing them, starting to move your body, your legs, your feet, your arms, your head, giving yourself a stretch. And then opening your eyes again. So I am wondering how many people are still focusing on their breath in the other video and who may not have realized that it went wrong and got disconnected. It should be interesting. I can't wait to hear from the feedback. Okay, so I'm really apologize for what happened. I hope it did not disrupt the session too much. And also, just to remind you, I am planning, I would be interested in running a 1 day retreat. I would probably do it live on YouTube, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know if YouTube can actually take a whole day of it, of live. We've seen today that 1 hour sometimes can even be a struggle. So, but let me know if you're interested. So please leave comments here or send me an email or send me a text, give me a phone call, whichever way that you want to communicate to me. if you're interested in doing a one-day retreat. And so that retreat will include meditation sessions, and then there'll be some self-care activities also, possibly creative writing, things like that. And then there'll be break times also for lunchtime and all that, so that people can take their breaks and have a bit of a rest. And then, yeah, so let me know if you're interested, basically. Okay, there's a message from Anna saying, just let them be, keep breathing, guys. Oh, yeah, they'll be breathing nicely for quite some time. Yes, please, we are interested in a retreat day, says Anna. Okay, that's cool. I'll definitely set that up, but I just need to know who is interested so that I can send information about this. Okay, so that's great. Um, so I am going to see you next week, hopefully with a session that's going to be a bit more successful or functioning a bit better electronically than this last one. And so I'm sending you all lots of love. And yeah, have a great week and see you next week, Wednesday, 2 o'clock. Bye.